When he retired with 283 wins, it was the 8th most among pitchers in the live ball era. Please welcome Hall of Famer Jim Kaat.
So, as you saw, former Cardinal Jim Kaat was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. In a 25-year career, he faced everybody from Ted Williams to Darryl Strawberry. Think about that for a moment. He is tonight's Cardinal Buick Sunday Conversation. And what an honor it is to welcome Jim Kaat to Sports Plus. Jim, right off the bat, heard one of the greatest stories ever about you. 75th birthday, you get a set of left-handed clubs and a set of right-handed clubs, and you shoot 75 with both of them. Confirm or deny, please.
Well, I did it in the same week, Frank, not the same day, but yeah, I took up the game right-handed because I didn't have left-hand clubs, and then later I switched to left. So that was kind of a freaky thing back in December when I was 75 years old. So that's like 8 years ago.
So you threw your last pitch almost 40 years ago, and now going into the Hall of Fame. Your emotions, Jim?
Well, it's a humbling honor, particularly at my age when I thought my time had passed. The Hall of Fame was kind of in my rearview mirror. So it's really maybe more special now than if I had gotten in, when I was eligible shortly after my career ended. But, everybody says, "Are you excited?" I'm more humbled, I think, and grateful to get in at this age, and certainly looking forward to it.
Was there ever a time during the nearly 4 decades of waiting where you said to yourself, hey, I have 16 gold gloves. I have 283 wins. Did you ever have anger?
No, I never really had anger, Frank. The early days that I was eligible, I was curious because of my win total. It was similar to Fergie Jenkins and Robin Roberts, but I wasn't the dominant pitcher that they were. And so I realized early on that even though I had, longevity and dependability and the win total was up there, I never really was a dominant like a Gibby.
Well, you were dominating in 1966 when you won 25 games, but you didn't get the Cy Young because that was the last year they only gave out one Cy Young, and a fellow named Koufax got the award.
Yeah, I kid my friend Jim Lonborg, who was a teammate of mine in Philly, because he got it the next year. And I said, maybe the year I had made them decide to give two, because Sandy and I went into the last 10 days, each had 25 wins, and he won his last two, and I lost my last two. So he came away with a Cy Young Award.
What a cool ending to your career here in St. Louis. A key member of the 1982 World Championship team. What's your best Whitey Herzog story?
He could imitate Casey Stengel so well. I'd have to be in a room to have Whitey start spinning some yarns. But he was such a great game manager. And what he did for me is I had started some games in 1981, and I really had designs on continuing to start. And he said, I want you to be my lefty specialist, like he used a pitcher named Steve Mingori in Kansas City. And he said, I'm going to build my pitching staff from the 9th inning back. So we had Bruce Sutter at the end, and then we had Doug Bears, a hard-throwing righty. Jeff Lottie had a good slider. I was a lefty guy. And I really settled into that role and enjoyed it, of course, because we won the World Series that year. And, the way Whitey could maneuver a bullpen and manage was a big part of it.
And Jim, how about that infield behind you with Hernandez, Ozzie, and Oberfell? Was that the best infield you've ever played with or seen?
Oh, no question. Yeah, that was, it was so enjoyable being a part of that team, because I think we were the last really what I would call exciting team that played baseball the old-fashioned way. 67 home runs, 200 stolen bases.
What if there's a young person in Cooperstown today watching you give your speech, and he asks his dad, who really is Jim Kaat? What would you want the dad to say?
Well, I was a baseball lifer that was raised on baseball by my dad. I'm going to give him a lot of credit for it. And I think that I just enjoyed the 25 years. I took pride in taking the ball whenever my turn came up and doing my best every time out there.
Pretty good way to spend a life, isn't it, Jim?
I felt like when my career ended in St. Louis, even though I was disappointed when it ended, I thought it was the best 25-year paid vacation I could have hoped for.